Hello everybody, Rokimaxon here, and welcome to how does it fare in draft? This episode we're going to be talking about Blastoise. Now when it comes to Blastoise, for the longest time it was really just like, a reliable rapid spinner. Able to, sponge a few good hits, rapid spin, clear out some hazards, and overall not too bad. Nowadays, though, Blastoise got, some buffs here and there. The Mega Evolution it got in Gen 6 we'll talk about. But overall, each gen, Blastoise has kind of been getting better and better. And it really plateaued, ascended basically in Generation 8 whenever Blastoise got access to Shell Smash. Such a fantastic move. It really made Blastoise go from a bulky defensive water type with no recovery unfortunately to an offensive powerhouse because Shell Smash is just such a good move. And looking at Blastoise stats here, fairly decent across the board. He's got respectable bulk. You can be played either physical or special because they're basically pretty close to the same. And whenever you're running Shell Smash, you can boost up with a boosting nature. So you could run the Adamant, the Modest, if you need a little bit more power. And when it comes to Blastoise's move pool, you got good stuff on both sides. And he even has access to Flip Turn as well. If you want to run not a full shell, for defensive sets, not Shell Smash sets. But defensive sets also have access to Rapid Spin. And Blastoise himself just kept getting better and better as the generations went on, and I'm fairly happy about that because I've always enjoyed Blastoise. It's always been my favorite of the Gen 1 starters. But I've also always been a pretty big fan of the water types as well. And Blastoise was always just cool looking, especially in the U2 movie as well. Pokemon the first movie with the Blastoise named Shell Shocker. One of these Blastoises here is named Shell Shocker, I can tell you that much, so. But when it comes down to Blastoise, it kept getting better and better. And as it fares on, most draft boards, for the longest time, it was kind of, low. Just kind of used as a spinner with no reliable recovery, unfortunately. So it's if you wanted to run a defensive Blastoise, you'd probably also be running some Wish support as well. To really try and just make use of it. And building around with some Wishmons, you'd probably be able to go better than Blastoise, unfortunately. But after getting access to Shell Smash, it has jumped up in points, and in all honesty, it is very much worth it. I think that Blastoise is normally pretty well tiered, and is able to really punch out a lot of damage, and able to really take care of a lot of different situations, because of the fact that, its stats are so good, it can be run either physical or special. So, not being able to completely play around that all that easily makes things a little bit harder. But then we go to Mega Blastoise, and everything about Mega Blastoise just gets pumped up to even more. Now, one thing that you will never find in a Nat Dex format, you will never find Mega Blastoise allowed to use Shell Smash. Because Shell Smashing Mega Blastoise is the most busted thing in the entire Pokemon power creep stuff. Shell Smash Mega Blastoise, you will never see. Unless power creep gets to such a stupid point. But when it comes to Mega Blastoise himself, like, you know, he gets extra bulk, he gets a lot more power, and, you know, if you still need the speed, you still have Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin still gives you that +1 to speed, thus making Mega Blastoise able to, you know, get that speed boost that it kind of ends up needing, and ends up being able to really push out a lot of damage with Mega Launcher being such a fantastic ability for the coverage that it has. Water Pulse, Aura Sphere, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, if you just need like a little bit of power, just hitting some dragon types. But like, you know, you still got your Ice Beam, you can still run Flip Turn on this, you got you know, you got the Rapid Spin for the speed boost. There are a lot of very good pulse moves, or launching moves, or whatever you categorize it as, that Mega Blastoise has access to, and it just makes him so powerful and like really hard to wall. And like, you know, having coverage as well, basically having stab on your coverage with the Mega Launcher ends up helping out Mega Blastoise so much too. So, you know, when it comes down to it, Blastoise and Mega Blastoise have been killing it for like the past couple generations of like gens 8 and 9. And like when it comes down to Nat Dex, like, you know, both of them are still fantastic Pokemon. But like they keep getting limitations on them to where, you know, you can't unleash their full power, because if they could unleash their full power, they would be busted as all hell. Because some drafts you might find Blastoise not being allowed to Terra because of the Shell Smash. Terra Shell Smash just gives Blastoise so much coverage, as well as like being able to Terra it out of like a weakness or like, you know, a surprise Terra for some extra coverage. Now, Mega Pokemon cannot Terra to begin with, so, you know, we don't have to worry about that. But there's still, like, a lot that could be done with just regular Blastoise. Shell Smashing, Terrastla's... Oh my god. Terrastla's... Using the Terra... using the Terra to, like, get into a much better position and end up being able to really end up running through a team with the extra coverage that it can have in base form. So, you know, some leagues I've seen do not allow Terra plus Shell Smash on Blastoise or any Shell Smasher. But, you know, like, it's kind of understandable because Shell Smash is such a good move. It's pretty much like, I feel kind of like, oh my god, I feel great for Blastoise though, just because like it's been getting all these things, and with Legends ZA right around the corner at the time of recording this, pretty much, you know, there could be more buffs to Blastoise in Legends ZA. So, you know, we'll just see like how just if Blastoise gets even stronger as the time goes on. Because like right now, I think Blastoise is the strongest of the 3 Kanto starters and is able to do the most out of them. But that's kind of all I have to say about Blastoise. It has just been getting better and better. And like there's never a bad decision when it comes to Blastoise. So, you know, if you think like, you know, oh, okay, well, you know, I already have like a few water types. Water is such a good typing that you can stack multiple water types on a team and still be very successful. It's why like Mono Water is one of the strongest team styles for mono types, is because there's so many good waters, and water's such a good type. So yeah, like, you know, there's really no downside to Blastoise. And really, I'm kind of proud about that, because I love Blastoise, so that's kind of all I have to say about Blastoise. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I don't know what Pokemon will be coming out next. I haven't fully thought about that. I just knew that I wanted to do the 3 Kanto starters. Maybe, like, you know, I'll just keep doing the starters, see where I go from there. But if you have any recommendations of Pokemon that you want to see in the future, leave them down in the comments below. I will look at them. I will see, like, you know, and I'll probably get to them. But if you like this video, drop a like, subscribe so that you don't miss any new videos, and I hope that you all have yourselves a fantastic day.